Hello friends, my name is Shilpa and I'm going to teach you structure and union class for today. Let's we take from where today I'm going to teach about the contents of structure union definitions, syntax and exam pattern differences. That's it. Let's take it to the definition. Structure. Structure is a user-defined data type. User-defined data type is a type of data. It's a type of data type which which is defined by users. Which is defined by users. That's called user-defined data type. Structure, a user-defined data type. Structure is user-defined data type used to represent a group of data items of different types using a single name. Means it it stores the values. Structure helps to store the values of different data types in one program, in one structure class. That's why it's called that's why structure is used main importantly. If we get to the array, see here, second para, let's read the second para. We know that arrays can be used to represent a group of data items that belongs to the same type, such as int or float. Yes, we know that arrays stores a group of data items. Arrays stores a group of values, but it will be always belong to one data type. Means it stores those values which is same data type, which is same data type. It does not the data types does not vary for the values. It can store thousands of values. Arrays can store thousands of values, but it stores only with the same data type. Example, there is a named array A. If there is array A, then that A stores only int integer. If we store it in integer, that A is gonna store only integer. But in structure, it's different. You can store character, integer, float, long, whatever data type values you want in one box. Like array is a box and structure is a box. You can store whatever data type values you want, but in array you can only store only one. Next, let's take it to the third para. However, we cannot use an array if we want to represent a collection of data items of different data types using a single name. See, I told you, right? I told you structure store different data types values in the same way. See, they're telling that structure is a type of class. Okay, it's a type of class which has its own name. Example, if we get to class, there will be a class name compulsory to name the data, right? There will be a class name, there will be a public, there will be the derived name. So like that there are different names. In the same way, here there will be structure name. For array we called a is a array name. But here if we get to the structure, there will be a structure name as well. In that one single structure name we can store different data types values at a time, but this can't be done in array. That's why we use structure rather than array in. Let's get to the next thing, that is syntax and example. There will be some syntax to store that, there will be some syntax to declare that and define that, right? So let's see how what's the syntax. Struct, you can see struct is a keyword. To define some things there will be some ways. Example, if we get to the array, there is subscript, right? Subscript defines array index values. And here struct defines the keyword of a structure. And here structure name you can give any name for the data. To store the data you want, example, there is a box and you're gonna name that box as a toy, and you're gonna store whatever you want inside. You can store toy, books, whatsoever, but it's your box, so you can store whatever you want. Like that you're gonna name that box something, and you're gonna store something inside it. That's called data type and values. So I gave an example in a normal reality way. Let's take it to the topic once more deeply. Structure name, and here opening braces, and then type is data type. Int, float, char, whatever comes, it comes in the place of type. And element 1 is a value. You can give any value. Element 2, element n, you can give any value. Example, data type you will give int and c down. Let's say an example, int roll number. Int is a data type, roll number is a element. It can be any value or data type, data item. C for value we can call data item, element, and value. And here comes closing braces, and after everything you have to compulsorily apply terminator. Terminator tells that it ends there, the programming ends there. Okay, as well as here data type element 1, see that there is a terminator. It means the data type, the element in which you are storing, that element is ends there. That element ends there, you don't need to take that element anymore. Like that we are declaring something by define by using terminators. Sorry. Ah, let's take it to the example. Struct, we use struct keyword to define the to define to the program terminator, or some apps like code blocks and other turbo C++. We are trying to define for the computer that see what I'm writing program is using struct keyword. When the program uses struct keyword, it means that it's using structure. It's using structure to store the values. When we use arrays to store the value, we can't give different data types. But when we use structure, we can give different data types. That the computer first at first itself it will know. So it will start to go according to the rules or syntax what structure has. If you do a little bit mistake, it will show the error. It will pop up the error. That's why we need syntax. Student. Student is a structure name, and opening braces. Opening braces, the program starts from there. Then int roll number. Int means data type. Roll number means key element or value. Char data type. C. Int is a it means integer which stores the whole number. Char is a character which stores the alphabets. Float is a decimal numbers which stores the decimal numbers. Total mark. See, in float, we declare total marks. It doesn't mean the total marks is a float. We're telling that whatever information you store inside the total marks, those information will be decimal point. Those information will be decimal form. That's what it's saying by declaring the total mark as a float. Okay. Now the closing braces ends and terminator will be applied. Sorry, there is no terminator here, but the terminator will be applied compulsory. Let's look at your next thing. You need an example to how the program will look using structure. Right? See, here is a program. See, we include the header file here, that is student.h and string.h, and down we will declare structure name, that is we will declare this title, author, subject, book ID, everything, what data type it is, and we're going to store it inside the books, which is a structure name. And here the program ends struct and the new program begins, that is int main opens. Main means void main. Int main means it's a empty function which is used to show what it does inside. We can declare it, or we can say, output it, input, what we can do whatever we want inside the int main or void main, right? uh, we are using struct, and we are using book one, like this we are declaring one by one. See, we are declaring one by one, and then we are giving specification by string copy and many more. And then we are printing the book one information. See here, book dot title, book dot author, book dot subject, everything we are printing it. And as you know, percentage s means string. Percentage s means string or character, and percentage g means integer. As we have as declared in the above structure keyword, here we have executed in the same way. uh, \n means new line escape sequence, right? That's it. Here it is over, and the output will be like this. Beside the program, see the output. Book 1 title, C programming, like that. Okay, let's get to the next topic. Advantages of structures. Heterogeneous collection of data items. They reduce complexity. Okay, what's meant by heterogeneous? What do you think is heterogeneous? It means that simply means that heterogeneous is a different collection of data items. Data items means what? I told you it's a value, right? You can store numbers, you can store alphabets. If it comes to alphabets, what will be the data type? Char. If it comes to number, what will be the data type? Int. So we can store number or alphabet or special symbols like the different types of data items, which which it's telling that that's the advantage of a structure and reduce complexity. It reduces difficulty. Example, let's get our program once more. See it. See the structure, the declaration of the structure, how easy it is. If it comes to array, we have to declare A as an integer. Once more, we have to declare B or C as a char. Then we have to declare D. See, as it comes to see this structure, it's so little and small. It's easy way. If we compare it to array, array is the toughest way. I'm gonna tell you how. For array, we are gonna use subscript and super. We are gonna use subscript, right? And store the index value inside the A array A, right? See how it's gonna work. I'm gonna tell you. Array A, you're gonna store it inside the int. There is a chart title, right? Chart title 50. In the same 50 is the index value, title is the array. Just imagine that. And we are storing it in the inside the char. We're gonna store it inside the char, okay? But you have to declare once more title, and once more you have to store in the int. Once more you have to declare title. Once more you have to store it in the float. In the same way, you if you want different items, you have to show separately, and this can also confuse confuse you, as well as when one day you are going to come and you're going to check the program in the future, you're going to get confused by the program, because the program itself a little bit confusing, that you didn't declare and maintain the code neater. To maintain the code neater, structure is compulsory necessarily, and to shorten the program lines, the structure is important. Now it reduces the difficulty. Complexity means difficulty. Increased productivity means if the difficulty decreases, then what will happen? Then compulsory everyone will start to increase the productivity, means everyone will start to do programs faster, and they will create more programs like this, which gives them more time to create more programs. And maintainability of code. They will maintain a code. See, I told you. It will give a it will be neat, clean. It is easy to understand. But if it comes to array, if you try to declare in every single data type in every single program, then there it is. It's all jumbled, and you will feel stressed when you see it, when you try to read it. Okay, that's what. Maintainability of code is so easier and it's so difficult in array. And as it enhance code readability, means it if we maintain the code neater, then what will happen? We can read it clearly, it's readable by the computer as well as us, by ease in an easier way, in faster way. If the computer wants to read the program to produce the output, then the time complexity, time complexity, right? Time complexity calculates how much time it takes. If the time takes too much, then what's the use of writing a program? You will write a program as a programmer because you want to reduce the time complexity. That's the main reason you have to keep it in mind. And to reduce the time complexity, structure is the best one. Okay, let's get to the next topic. Advantages of structure over and union definition. Let's we get to the main topic now. Union definition. You have read about structure. Compulsory you have read about structure in second PC or first PC. But if it comes to union, it's a different concept which will be arrived in degree itself. Okay, let's get to the union. The union is a user-defined data type in C. S. This is also user-defined data type. This is a data type which is defined by the user, okay, which is created by the user. In C language, it's present in C language that can contain elements of the different data types. S. Structure stores values, data items. Union stores values, elements, data items. Okay, they both store same thing, but the thing is, it does not store. But the, and one more thing, See, first thing is it stores the element, but it stores the different data types of the elements. Okay. Yes, structure does that. Union also does that. But unlike structures, all the members in the C union are stored in the same memory location. See, if it comes to structure, cat an example, there is C. Let's get to the program once more. You will get to know clearly. See this one, title. Title char is the character, right? It's stored inside the character box. Inside the character box separately, title is stored. Author is stored separately. Subject is stored separately. Book ID is stored separately in an integer way. In integer data type, it's like a separate boxes for everything. We are gonna arrange those boxes in one single box. That's called structure. But if it comes to union, it does not gonna do store the boxes separately. Store it's gonna jumble everything in one single box. That's called union. Okay, let's we see. It means that there will be locations like that for memory locations, and it's going to store every single data type, every single data items which you give, different data items. It's going to store everything in same memory location. Okay, let's get to the next thing. Syntax. There is some syntax, as I told you. There is a keyword struct for a structure, and there is also keyword for this union as well. So what is it? It's union. Union keyword is union. Isn't it easy? Union, what's the name? There is a name for array, that is A, B, C, D, whatever array name. There is array name. And the structure, that's a structure name. There should be a name for union as well as that is union name. See, to allocate that, to identify something specially, we will give some name. That's called union name. Okay, the opening braces opens, data type same, data type member 1 or element 1, element 2, whatsoever. Then next, closing braces closes the program. Then terminator ends the program. Here we finish the syntax, and let's see the example. Union, we declare that this program contains union. We declare to the computer that this program contains union. But the thing is, what's the union name? Un. Un is a union name. Opening braces open the program, and it tells that I'm gonna give member 1, that's integer, member 2 char, member 3 float. It's gonna tell all of it. So closes the program and ends with the terminator. The thing is, union is different from structure because it's gonna store member 1, member 2, member 3 all in one memory location. But if it comes to structure, member 1 is gonna store in one memory location, member 2 is gonna store in another one, member 3 is gonna store in another one. Okay, that's how the union and structure works. Let's look at the next thing. That's example of from a program. You see, C program to demonstrate how to use union. I'm gonna demonstrate how to use union by this simple program. We're gonna include in the simple space or box something. It's a preprocessor defined. It's a hash studio.h. We're gonna include the header file studio.h, and by using the studio.h header file, we're gonna start the program, and we're gonna tell that we are using union in the program by using the keyword union, and we're gonna give union name. We're going to open the program. We're going to declare whatever we want in one memory location. We're going to close it. Then we're going to do whatever activities we want, input, out, every printf, scanf, everything is done in int main or void main. Okay, here we finish, closing braces, finished, and the output is going to be the value stored in member 1 is equal to 15. See, this is how it works. This is how it looks like when we use union in the C programming. When we doesn't use union and structure, commonly we will declare every data item, data type in the int main or void main itself, right? Or outside the int main or void main without declaring any union or union name, structure name, right? That's it. It's gonna create its own block, and it's gonna give union name. Then it's gonna store everything inside that. That's it. This is how it works. Then, however, my class is almost there's advantages left. Let me finish this. It allocates the space in the memory of the data members who have the highest memory. See, who it allocates the space in the memory of data members. Did you understand? It allocates the space in the memory of data members who have the highest memory. See, there's a space. It's gonna there's a space in the, and that space is present in the highest memory. Means we are gonna give data item, right? See, let's we take example of structure. See that structure. You know how it works in the programming, right? See here, title 50. It stores 50 in the 50 spaces, and subject it's gonna store 100 spaces. Which is big one? 100 is big one. So we're gonna store in 100 the subject everything. But structure is separate. We're gonna store in 50 title one, 50 author one, 100 subject one, book ID 1 or 0. It depends on the integer value, integer storing space. But if you come to union, every single data item will be stored in one data item space. That is, it's going to be subject, because subject has highest memory location, that's 100. So subject, in the subject we are going to store all the memory items, all the data items. Even if it's a float or long or whatever, it's going to store in one thing, that's 100. Okay, now you got to know how it works, how the union works. Let's see once more, go here. Okay, why we need to do this, why we need to do this process, why we need to use union instead of structure? Is it important? Because it consumes less memory location. As a programmer, what's your rules? As I told you just before the class, I told you something. Yes, as a programmer, it's your responsibility to make it shorter, make the so that your program can execute faster. So that when a example, when a user comes and loads the website should come faster. If the website loads slower, if the website loads and the server is blocked, something like this happens, then the user gonna get annoyed, gonna launch a complaint which gonna block your whole website. Yes, this small thing can leads to big wrong ways, dangers. So to avoid this, the programmer has to keep in mind to make the program shortest as much as he can by using all of his talents. And the one more thing is to use less storage to store the program, or to store whatever he has in the program. Okay, see, to show the keywords or to store the data types, to store the data items, it takes less memory storage. Union takes less memory storage. So which one you're gonna use? Are you gonna use array, structure, or union? You have to use union, because union is gonna make you easy and give you a best result. Okay, let's get to next point. Through this, you can hold the data of only one data member. Yes, by using union, you can hold data of only one data members. Means you can hold only one data item, or you can hold different data items, or you can hold integer data items. All example, you're gonna declare 24, 50, 61, and table. These four things you're gonna declare. You want it to be declared in integer, okay, declare it, it's your wish. You can also do, as well as do that, you can also do it like you have to declare only 124. You can declare it, you can only declare one, or you can declare numerous, or you can declare with different data types. It's your wish. Union can gives us flexibility to choose whatever we want. In whichever we want, we can change it, just like paper, just like whatever we want. Okay, the last variable can be accessed directly in the union. It means that, see, what means that it can be accessed directly in the union. It means that, example, there is a member 1. You want to access the member 1 in the object, you can access it. It's what telling. Last variable means you can access member 1, member 2, member 3, data items, everything outside the class, inside the class. It's your wish. Okay, let's get to the next one. Next one is when you have to use the same location for one or more data members, then union are used. Yes, when you have to use the same location for one or more data members. As I told you previously, it's common use, right? I told you we will use only one same location to shortage the memory which we consume to store the data members, right? Yes. The next point is it occupies less memory compared to a structure. Yes, I told you before. it occupies less memory to compare to the structures. Next point. Next, last slide and last structure. First point is the amount of memory required to store a structure variable is the sum of size of elements. See, we are talking about difference between structure and union. We already talked about it point wise in the previous slides. But we are gonna just summarize it like a difference between them. We are gonna just gonna summarize those things here. The amount of memory required to store a structure variable is the sum of the size of all the members. You have to sum the size of the all members. Example, you give a title 5 and you give a name 6. You're gonna sum those sizes 5 plus 6 like that. You're gonna sum those, and how much ever the value comes, it depends upon the values. It depends the amount of memory which is gonna consume. It depends upon the values. If it comes to structure, if it comes to union, the amount of memory required is always equal to the that required by its largest member. Means, example, the title is 5, name is 6, and place is and the place is 10. Let's we take the place as 10. Okay, title 5 and name 6, place 10. Which is the big one? Place. So exactly it's gonna store in 10. So the amount of memory which is gonna consume is largest member. Okay, that's it. That's the difference between how to know how much memory it's gonna consume and which one is to use. Sometimes example structure uses less memory and union uses more memory. Then you can choose whatever you want. It depends on you by you calculating the amount of memory. Next, let's get to next point. Each member have their own memory space. Each member have their own memory space. I told you, structure has their own memory space for every single data member. But if it's to union, it's all same. It's going to store in one block in one memory space. Everything will be same. But that's the difference. And the third difference is structures structure structure name the program. Okay, here we're gonna store structure name, but in union we're gonna store union name. Here we're gonna use struct keyword, but in the union we're gonna use union keyword. Here we're gonna store here we're gonna store s as a object. Here we're gonna we declared u as an object, but it's not a big difference. But the union name and structure name is a big difference. Okay, that's how it works. Then let's get to the keyword. If it comes to keyword, structure is struct keyword, union is union keyword. That's it. The finally the class is over. PHP class is over. So next time if I get a chance to explain other things, I would like to explain every single thing about structure and union more detailedly. And thanks for everything. Thank you.